Hey, I'm Gareth from Pod Cameras, and today we're going to run through the key differences between the brand new Nikon full-frame mirrorless cameras, so the Z6 and the Z7. Now, we don't have them here to actually compare ourselves. We got to play them a little bit at the launch event, and hopefully we'll get our hands on them soon to bring you a full review of both cameras, and probably a full comparison video as well. But at the moment, we're going to be going through some of the spec. So we're going to run through the key differences in the spec between the two cameras. Now, that means that this video is probably going to be a little spec heavy, so if that's not your thing, no worries. But on with the information. I'm also going to mention that I've got these pieces of paper here that I am going to refer to because there's a lot of spec. So I am just going to look at those from time to time. So to start with, the sensor resolution. So both cameras are full frame with back illuminated sensors, but there is a bit of a difference here. So the Z6 features 24.5 megapixels, whereas the Z7 has 45.7 megapixels. That means that if you're someone who likes to just kind of shoot the moment and then crop later on and kind of recompose and reframe things, then you might have a bit of time with the higher megapixel count on the Z7. It does just give you a little bit more room to play around in that sense in post, maybe shoot wider and then crop later to get your composition, but otherwise, both very respectable, but you can have a little bit more room to play with the Z7. There's also a difference with the ISO sensitivity. So the Z6 obviously has a lower megapixel count. It's also able to have a higher ISO value. So it starts at 100, goes all the way up to 51,200. That's also expandable as well. Whereas the Z7 starts at 64, goes all the way up to 25,600. Again, that's expandable as well. Now, I don't know how much of a difference that will make to anyone because I can't imagine shooting at 51,000 ISO, but it's available if you need it. The next big difference is the autofocus points. So the Z6 has 273 phase detection points, which is actually really, really good. And the Z7 has 493 phase detection points, which is really good. So in terms of autofocus points, they're both great, but the Z7 does have more there for you to play around with. Now, it's also worth noting that both have around 90% coverage, which is really good, and it's just going to make it very easy with autofocusing, which is great. Another area that they differ is in the continuous shooting speed. So the Z6 can shoot up to 12 frames per second, whereas the Z7 can shoot 9 frames per second. Now, I would imagine that this is because of the megapixel count. 9 frames per second at 45.7 megapixels is still incredibly decent. That's still a very respectable speed, but the Z6 got a bit of advantage there because it is shooting with fewer megapixels. Now, there's also a slight difference in battery life, albeit fairly small, but the Z6 is listed as lasting for 310 shots, whereas the Z7 will make it 330 shots. Now, normally those can be slightly pessimistic and you might end up getting more in the wild. We'll check it out as soon as we can get our hands on them. There are an awful lot of similarities between them as well, but once we get our hands on them and we have an extensive test with them and we can take them out in the wild and things like that, we will make sure to get our reviews up for you. We'll probably have a comparison video as well, but we'll certainly have reviews of both cameras as soon as we are able to. Now, if you like the video, make sure to hit the like button. In the meantime, if you have any questions, pop them down in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already. I'll see you in the next video, and as always, thanks for watching.